Hi, today I'm making a universal chorizo ground beef filling that could be used for eggs, casseroles, appetizers. You could use it as a taco filling and even enchilada filling. You could use it as a base for chili. So it has a wide use. So what I have today is beef chorizo or um, Mexican. I call it Mexican chorizo versus Spanish chorizo. This is a fresh product in a plastic tube that you squeeze out. It's highly seasoned, has a lot of flavor. I use 2 pounds of ground beef, and when I cook ground beef, I like to add onions and garlic, and the red bell peppers here is mainly for color. So this is a half an onion, this is a quarter of a bell pepper, this is 1 clove of garlic. Then I also like to add a can of fire roasted green chilies. That adds flavor, salt and pepper. And as I taste it, I might add a little ground chicken bouillon. Sorry, this is beef bouillon. It varies. This is an optional ingredient, the bouillon. So just add probably a quarter teaspoon to a half teaspoon to this entire mix, and it'll add a little extra beefiness to the dish. All right, one of the first steps I do is to sweat the onions for about 30 seconds. I have a little oil in here, just probably half a tablespoon of oil. Just get it added the onions and garlic just to get it going a little. I think the onions help break down the ground beef, so I'm going to add the ground beef next and just start breaking it down into crumbs. Bell pepper you could add any time. I could add it now also. I might as well. I think the coarse chopped onions, as I mentioned, and the bell pepper act to help crumble the ground beef a lot quicker. We're not really browning this. We're just getting it cooked probably 80% until you don't see any more pink, and then I'll add the chorizo and the other flavorings, and we'll cover and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. I think with ground beef, when you simmer, it adds, it helps tenderize the ground beef, because ground beef is a hodgepodge of meat. Sometimes they use tender cuts of beef. Other times they just use the less tender cuts, and that can get a little gristly. I don't know if it's gristle, but it's just not as tender. But I think when you slow cook the ground beef a little bit, it helps break down any of the connective tissue. It also makes it a little finer, so it's easier to eat. So as you notice, I'm not really browning, it's just cooking. And the liquid from the onions is just helping simmer the ground beef. Oh, I forgot, I should add salt and pepper, even though the chorizo is seasoned. But we're putting in 2 pounds of meat, and I'm just eyeballing, so I'm probably putting in a half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. That's probably a quarter teaspoon of pepper. The meat is breaking down nicely, no big chunks. Okay, like I said, the chorizo comes in a plastic tube, so I just snip off the end and I'll squeeze it into the ground beef. So the ground beef, the chorizo is going into the mix. So once this gets mixed, I'll cover it and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Taste for seasoning and add the powdered bouillon as needed. Alright, I'm going to cover, just leave it ajar a little bit. I've turned the heat down to let it simmer and set the timer for 10 minutes. Alright, the timer's just gone off. It's been 10 minutes. Let's take a look at it. This is definitely cooked. Moisture is cooked out. There's still some moisture in it. But this is essentially ready. So next thing I'll do is just give it a quick taste to make sure it has a decent flavor. So I'll just see how it is. Has a nice chili pepper flavor. I think it needs a little more salt. Ground beef is nice, crumbly, and tender. So that's good. So I think I'll, even though I don't think it really needs it, but I'll add a little of the bouillon powder. So just sprinkle a little in. That's probably a quarter to a half teaspoon. I'll give it a mix and taste again. Again, this is seasoned to your taste. So the red bell pepper is cooked down, but it adds a little bit of color to this dish. The green bell peppers are here. I don't know if, or green chilies are here, and the onions. So let me get another spoon. I'll give this another taste. Oops. Okay, let's give it a taste. Yeah, there's definitely something about the bouillon powder. Adds a little extra flavor. It's very good. It's not too hot. Has a little peppery taste, or chili powder taste to it. I know some people, it's optional if you want to add more or less. Also, depending on the dish you're making, you could add additional flavors later. But this is the universal filling that you could use. It's cooked and ready to be used anywhere or in any of your dishes that require meat. So this dish is ready. So feel free to give this a try. Let me know how you would use this. I'll try to come up with more videos showing other dishes I've made with this ground beef chorizo universal filling. Thanks for watching.